That's good. Well, Dan, first of all, thank you for your attention today. Daniel asked me that I tell you about how to develop a finder's mindset. To be honest, it will be a wild ride. We will cover lots of different topics that might not seem that related, but in the end, I hope it will all make sense for you. Therefore, if you have any questions in between, just write it in the chat and I'll try to answer them. We won't be distracted by comparison if we are captivated with purpose. I think it's actually quite a nice sentence and something that helps me really to keep focused. But first of all, for knowing what my purpose is, or to get to how I get to this point to really develop this purpose, first of all, the question is, of course, what is your why? And this question seems simple, but to answer it can be quite tricky. So this is also my question to you. What is your why? And to answer this question, I have prepared a little tool set for you. It's called the value pyramid. I for myself, I'm a person who is very driven by a strong inner codex. So I have like a set of values that I use to check all my actions and my beliefs and to see, okay, do they align with my values? And having these values, it is from then very easy to transfer it into this purpose and into this why, because my values are my why. Why am I doing something? Because it aligns with my values. And to help you finding your own values, we're going to use this tool called the value pyramid. I'm going to send you now via the chat a link to a G Drive file where you will find a list with several values. So they, like a bunch of psychologists, sat down and try to specify what like common values do we have in this big group of humanity in total, and then they gathered this list with all the values they were able to find. And what I want you to do now, I will give you then 10 minutes, just turn off your microphone, turn off the camera, and try to fill out this value pyramid. And so how to do it, you see like in the bricks at the bottom, you feel like your very basic values that then are the structure for the values above, and all the 5 bottom values, they crystallize in the upper value. So for example, these are my values. The creativity and openness helps me to establish success, and vision and openness help me to reach beauty or continuity. So it's like a Latin concept of formal and harmonic balance. And these values together help me to reach my the value I value the most, and this is freedom. Freedom to express myself in any way that is possible. So just as an example for you, this is what I want you to do. Try to find out from this list of values which 3 values are building the bottom line and are the base that help me to establish the values that lie above them. I'm gonna send you the link in the chat now. Just give me a second. Chat. Do this. Chat. And now you have 10 minutes to fill out this pyramid for you. Time starts now. And really just also try to figure out, pick out some values that feel right for you. So it's really not like a cognitive way of establishing those values, in my opinion, but really an intuitive way. So see what resonates with you and with your beliefs and with your mindset, your approach to the world, and then try to put them in that structure as shown. You have now 5 minutes left. You have 2 minutes left. If you're already done, use the last 2 minutes to really rethink your decision and also try to feel if this really resonates with what you are and what you want to stand for, more importantly. You have half a minute left. Well then, please come to an end. And yeah, well, I hope everyone was able to do it. And why are these values so important? Well, as a founder, especially as a young founder, you will hear lots of different opinions, approaches, these and that, and it can be quite confusing if you don't have something like your values, your set of values as a compass to guide you. Because once you have established these values, even in times where you might not have the knowledge or the expertise to decide, okay, is this or that decision better, these values will help you as a guidance, because you can decide, okay, will this decision and the outcome of this decision, more importantly, align with these values? And also in your personal life, you can decide, does this action align with my values? And once you really have established that, and then subsequently also stand up and live up to these values, this will, or from, yeah, in my experience, it was actually the most important kind of epiphany in my entire life, because it gave me direction even in times when I was struggling and when I didn't quite, yeah, really knew the way or how to proceed. And therefore it's really important to not just, yeah, have done this exercise and then put your list like in your cupboard and never take a look at it again, but really live it in your daily life and also revisit it. Yeah, so every few months I also do the same process again and see, okay, are the values that I committed myself to some months ago are actually the values that I want to stand for now. And therefore, it's also very important and necessary to revisit these values from time to time and see if they still fit. What I would be interested in now is if like 2 or 3 people would like to share their pyramid with us. This would be pretty cool. Otherwise, I can
jump in and share.
Someone. Yeah, this would be great. Sorry, who's speaking? Because I just
yeah. Do you want me to screen share it?
Yeah. Oh, that's just tell us maybe the bottom, the middle, and top.
Yeah, sure. So at the top, I have innovation.
Okay.
As the most critical aspect. And then for the next 2 levels, or the next level, I have success and integrity. And then the final level across, optimism, interest, and altruism.
So that sounds really great. Would you like to say like a few sentences for each value, why you especially picked it and why it resonated for you?
Well, as for putting innovation at the top and having that as like all the major focus, that's more just like the priority of a company I'd want to have. Like if I was running a business, I would want it to be bringing in new innovation, not just reiterating on existing technology, but moving towards a new goal or a new method or any of those things. As for success, it's critical because without it, you can't necessarily have a business that runs. Integrity is another critical aspect, as if you have customers or clients come in and they go, nah, your work is garbage, I don't want to have anything to do with you, then you're not going to have a business for long. So that's all of a sudden an extra important part. Optimism helps to keep focus directed well, rather than just going, damn, that didn't work, I got to like scrap it all and we're done here. Whereas if you keep optimistic, you can kind of keep determined into the goal. Interest, it's got to be something that I'm actually interested in. In other words, I'll kind of lose focus in a way. And altruism, it should be something that's beneficial, not just to myself financially in an aspect, but to other people in the way they live and how they go about their daily lives.
Yeah. So it's really great. Thank you for sharing. Can we get another input from anyone?
Yeah, I'm happy to share. This is Josh.
Josh, wait, where are you, Josh? Sorry, it's a bit confusing to scroll through all these people. Okay, yeah, great.
I'll
go on.
Put my video on as well. So for the bottom 3, I went for candor, respect, and empathy. Mm-hmm. Across the middle was integrity and acceptance, and the top I had altruism.
Would you also like to explain why you picked especially these values?
So the candor, the openness and honesty are crucial to me. And I'm not even talking in a business sense, but a personal sense as well, that, you know, they're just things I value is openness. You know, there's no need to hide it. If you want to go into business, if you can be open about it, and, you know, I personally think we're more successful, but yeah, hate, you know, lies and people hiding any facts. Just be open about it. The respect, I think respect everyone fights their own battles in the background. Everyone has different backgrounds. Everyone has different input. So respect the opinions of others. The empathy, again, it comes back, sort of links into it with the respect there. Everyone has different backgrounds. And like I said, everyone is fighting their own battle. So be empathetic to what other people go through, and understand that, you know, they have their own struggles and things like that. Integrity, again, that comes back to the openness and honesty. Again, you know, hate lies and deceit and things like that. So be open about it, and, you know, especially in mistakes, own up to your mistakes, and, you know, work through them rather than try and brush them under the rug. And then acceptance, again, I guess that links in with the respect and the empathy, is, you know, accept the differences in the world, and even appreciate those differences even more so than just accept them. But accept advice, accept help, accept that people are from different backgrounds and may not necessarily agree with you, but it doesn't mean they're wrong or that you're wrong. Just accept the differences. And altruism, for me, that's crucial. Like if you're not doing things to help people, just being selfless. And like I understand what was said before about, the innovation is crucial, but for me, even if you're not innovative, if you're still helping people through tried and true methods of, just being able to feed people, clothe people, things like that, at a very base level, then I think that's still very worthwhile, even if it's not innovative.
No,
and they're my 6.
Thank you very much for sharing. Well, so why was this value exercise so important? Well, once you have these values established, then you can really start to check yourself and all your actions, what I just mentioned. Are they aligned with my values? And it's a bit like a process of playing chess against yourself, yeah? It's like with every action, you have to ask yourself, especially when you're starting a business, are my beliefs right? And why do I think my beliefs are right? Or the other way, what is it why what I think might be wrong? And this is a very crucial skill that you should establish for yourself, because you should be, especially in this context of starting a business, you should be your own hardest critic, because everything that you criticize inside won't lead to mistakes or failures on the outside. Yeah, so this is something that you should really establish also as an inner value. Ask yourself, in believing this, what I'm currently believing in, am I right? And does it help me to reach my goals? Yeah, because it can be quite easy to fall into this mindset. Okay, I feel safe and it feels right, so I'm like proceeding with it. And everyone else who says, okay, maybe take a look at it again, is like just a critic, or yeah, doesn't want me to have success, something like that. Therefore, really try to get comfortable with this state of cognitive dissonance, because of course it feels better when you don't question yourself. I totally understand this. It's a very comfortable state, but change and also development happens especially in this state of cognitive dissonance, when you first of all get aware of, okay, this thing that I'm thinking of, that I'm supposed of, I was wrong, and then also fully recognizing it. Yeah, don't just brush it away, and because this can also happen that you might be aware of something that is like wrong, or that doesn't go well, but you like brush it aside, so you don't have to confront yourself with that. So really see it as an exercise to get into the state of cognitive dissonance as often as possible. A pretty good exercise for doing that also is at the end of each day, yeah, take like 10 minutes to just write down what happened today and how you reacted to it, yeah, or which challenges did you face and how you did react to it, and then see and really try to rethink, were my reactions right? How could I have reacted differently? And then to, yeah, be able to stand the pressure that arises from that, to maybe also see, okay, I could have reacted differently. Maybe I was rude that morning when my girlfriend asked me something, or I could have waited for the other person to pass and then enter the building first, or maybe I could have been more kind when this person asked me for a favor. Yeah, these are all points that you can think of, okay, how could I have acted better in that? And then also fully recognize that you might have acted wrong. It doesn't mean that you should really criticize everything you do, yeah. But it really helps you to, yeah, get really to the base of things, and don't like fly on this hybris of I know everything and what I do is right. So this is like a very, very critical exercise that I perform a lot during my day, and that really helps me shape to yeah, really helps me to shape my actions in a way that are beneficial for me in a business context, for my business, and also for, yeah, for other people as well, because it also helps to act not really selfish, but really acting for the sake of something. This could be like, yeah, contacts, like friends of you. This could be also your business. And therefore, I really encourage you to practice this exercise of self-reflection as often as possible, because it will really help you also develop on a personal and professional base. And yeah, also what really helps is from time to time take this third person view. It can be really visual. Close your eyes and go revisit the scene. Yeah, but this time you don't see it through your own eyes, but you see it like a person who's standing like next to you, and see how you acted in this scene, how you performed, what were your posture, what were the words you used, and then try to view it through the eyes of that third person, and think, okay, when I would have seen me through the eyes of another spectator who is not me, what would I have thought of the actions of that other person that is me in that very moment? And this can really be a powerful exercise when we really, yeah, be open to that, and also to the feelings that might arise from practicing this third person view on yourself. Well, something that links up to that, and this was also especially valuable, especially when you are a founder who wants to start your business and you really want to perform good, is humbleness. Yeah, because as I just mentioned, as a person, we see ourselves as the center of the universe, and of course, like, because we are the ones that matter most to ourselves. But this can, yeah, make you blind for on the one hand, for like the needs of others, and also for like well-meant input of others, because you have this idea, and you have, of course, you're supposed that this and that way is right. And when another person comes in and say, okay, actually, I really like your idea, but I think in this point you might be wrong, it can, first of all, we are in a defensive mode. Yeah, because what does this other person want to like destroy this nice vision we just made from our idea, and how it will work out smoothly? But if we take ourselves back for a second, then we see that this other person actually made us the greatest gift that he or she could make us. Yeah, because she gave us well-meant criticism in a way that he or she really wants us to develop and prosper with our idea. So therefore, it is pretty important, in my opinion, to not get over your head, but really practice this mental state of humbleness throughout your day. And yeah, actually, it can be really in a more or less Buddhistic approach, that you really try to stay humble. It doesn't matter which successes you had in the past, or which success you may think still await for you in the future. Really stay humble, and don't make yourself too big. And pretty interesting exercise, one could say, I like to practice from time to time is, yeah, taking yourself out of this center of the universe. And how I do it, what worked pretty well for me, and what in the end, to be honest, also felt a bit scary. But by practicing it over time, you get used to that feeling, is to make a little thought experiment. And what I do is, I imagine how like life, the world around me, would be if I just cease to exist from one moment or the other, like I have never been there. And if you really, yeah, let yourself fall into that thinking, what came up as recognition for me is that actually nothing much would change, because in the end we're all just, yeah, like ants on that big globe that is actually just a tiny spot in this massive universe. And yeah, it can spark fear first, but then it also is like a recognition of a feeling of freedom in a way, because you really see, okay, all the things that you thought that mattered that much for you as a person actually doesn't matter that much. And this also really helps you to stay on the ground with both feet and integrate this feeling of humbleness and also this mental state of humbleness in your daily life. So I'll really encourage you to do this exercise from time to time. Maybe is it once a week or maybe even each day, whatever suits you best. But it really helps you to get a clearer view on how things interact and a view that is not so stained by your personal predisposition. Well, big big things, big acts to do on a personal scale. Now I want to move away a bit with you from like the very, very personal level, more to a bit abstract level, to the concept of creativity. Because in my opinion, a founder is always kind of an artist. Yeah, he has this blank canvas in front of him or her, and he paints a picture on it. And it's like a picture. It's not like he just copies a picture of another artist, but he creates something new. So in my opinion, creating and creativity is the very essence of entrepreneurship. And there's this, in my opinion, fantastic quote by the famous Spanish painter Salvador Dalí. He said, "Every morning upon awakening, I experience a supreme pleasure, that of being Salvador Dalí." And I asked myself, wonderstruck, what prodigious thing will he do today, that Salvador Dalí? And I think this resembles very, very good this love for creation, for creating something new, for being innovative. And maybe next time when you wake up in the morning, you also say, okay, what do I want to do today? What do I want to create that stays even after that day is over? Yeah, so really try to foster this artist mindset to say, okay, I am, of course, like I'm an entrepreneur, but even more, I am an artist, and the world is my canvas, and I decide to paint on it. And really getting yourself into that mindset can be really valuable, because it makes a lot of hard processes a bit more fun, because it's not like work that you have to do, but really a process of creation that you are allowed to do. And it also opens your mind for a more broader view on the world, and really for that that view how an artist sees the world and how he gathers inspiration. And this brings me to the next step, the way of thinking. You have actually two ways of how to think. The one is the focused mode, and the other is the diffuse mode. And the focus mode is very valuable when you want to solve like a simple math equation. For this type of thinking, you use your cortex and neocortex. And the diffuse mode is much broader. You can see it in that pictures. If your neurons are those bumpers, and you shoot the ball out with that spring, in the focus mode, the ball just moves between this small area of bumpers. What is very what's very helpful when you want to solve a specific math equation, because then just a small area of your brain is activated to solve that equation. But if you want to get really creative and think outside of the picture and link points together that hasn't been linked yet, you need this diffuse mode. And this is also, you can also name it the unconscious way of thinking, because it's something that your conscious part of the brain, so the cortex and neocortex and the hypothalamus, that they actually don't know that it's going on. So you can't see, or you can't recognize it that it's going on, but only the results of that unconscious thinking process are then presented to the cortex, neocortex, and hypothalamus, so you can sort it in at the fitting point. And this is also like pretty good picture for that. If you are in this diffuse thinking mode, the bumpers are not structured so narrow together, so the ball can actually move much further and cover much more areas of the brain. And this is actually the essence of creation, because you link points together that weren't like in relation to each other before that. Yeah, and this is also what innovation is actually made of. And there are different ways to get to this, to switch from focus to diffuse mode. The like only critical point in that is that you can't do it consciously, because as the name says, it's unconscious thinking. But there are different methods that you can actually use as a workaround to really switch on your diffuse thinking mode. How Salvador Dali and also Edison did it. He called it sleeping without sleeping. So what he did, he was sitting on a chair with a billiard ball in his hand and like a metal plate on the ground, and he while he was slowly drifting to sleep, his grip around the ball would lose and it would clatter to the ground and the noise would wake him up again. Yeah, but this would help Salvador Dali to enter this diffuse thinking mode, because he was not like in this focused thinking mode where he was really focused on the problem, but he allowed his thoughts to stroll around. You don't now have to like build up this construction with the chair and the metal plate and the billiard ball, but you can really figure out what helps you to really let your mind stroll. I, for myself, I really like to go for a walk, yeah, or to just listen to music and meditate, and really helps me to switch from this focus mode where I'm really focused on a problem and all. Yeah, it feels like also something like I'm standing right in front of a tree and therefore don't see the forest behind it. That I just say, okay, I don't proceed in this focus mode. So I take myself out, I go for a walk, I listen to music, and this helps me to free my mind, to let my mind stroll. And then more or less the solution comes up naturally, because these other 80% of the brain that are not neocortex and cortex are working in this time. Even if you don't see it or don't feel it, there is constantly work going on. And then after like the subconscious mind has decided, okay, now we have the solution, they present it to the conscious mind. Or for example, if we take Aristotle, when he found his famous solution for the circle, yeah, this story where he ran naked through the street of Athens and screamed Orica. So I find it. He was actually sitting in a bath and was relaxing, and this relaxing helped him from shifting from the focus mode where he worked eagerly in the problem to the diffuse mode, and then actually see the solution. So therefore, try to find something that helps you to really shift from this focus to diffuse mode and really let your mind stroll, and your projects, your ideas could greatly benefit from it. Also, like an example of my out of my personal life, the idea for this digital healthcare app that I'm currently working on came up while I was standing in the shower, yeah, and thinking about something totally different. So really find these tools that help you to shift from focus to diffuse. And when you have the feeling, okay, I don't get any further with this problem, I'm like standing in front of a wall, I don't know any way around it, take yourself out and let the diffuse mode do its work. It will definitely be worth it. Well, of course, that your unconsciousness can have something to work with, you need to give it an input. And therefore, another crucial skill that you should incorporate as a way of living is awareness. Don't like walk through the world with this tunnel view, but really try to keep your view open. And also, I like to do a short exercise. It's this time much shorter, 1 minute. As you're sitting there on that chair, just take a look around your room and try to see, okay, which things are actually there that in normal life, because I'm so primed on it, that I oversee. Yeah, it could be like small spots on the wall, or maybe like a postcard that you put there years ago, but now you don't see it anymore. And also try to see, okay, what do I feel now? What are the signs around me? And I give you 1 minute to do exactly this, and then we come back together. seconds left. Yeah. And this was just to give you a short impression that we actually run through our life with a very narrow view. And now you again. I for myself, I really like street art, and I like those small tiny stickers that are everywhere around the city, maybe somewhere, they know, at spots where you actually don't see it, on a lamppost, maybe on the corner of a wall. And when I go through the city, when I walk from A to B, I really try to keep an open mind and to spot those stickers that other people in their daily life just walk by. And this is one way of keeping your mind open, of course, and really don't go through the world with this narrow view, because if you do so, you miss a lot of the beauty and also the fun, because some of the stickers are really, really funny. You miss a lot of if you just focus on a very specific narrow narrow field of expertise, you really miss out a lot. So therefore, I really encourage you to also take a moment for you to think, okay, which areas I was always interested, but I never dared to actually inform myself about it, and then write it down and set a date for you, like maybe 2 hours every weekend, something like that. I read about astrophysics, or 2 hours every weekend I teach myself to paint whatsoever. Yeah, but really get outside of your comfort zone also in this way, and explore new areas that you don't have any knowledge or expertise or idea about it yet. And on the one hand, you will benefit from it on a personal scale, and also your tool that you can draw off from inspiration, and that your subconsciousness can draw for new inspiration will greatly benefit from this. Well, then actually you have everything together. You have the inspiration, first of all, you had the values, you had the awareness, you had the humbleness, then you got the inspiration. And then the last thing that you have to do is you have to take the leap of faith and really jump into the cold water. All day you might not know, okay, how deep is it? What other fish are swimming there? How do I get out again? On a metaphorical level, if you jump from anywhere high in real life, definitely check how deep it is and what fish is swimming there, of course. But just on a metaphorical level, you have to, it doesn't help you if you just have this nice idea in your mind. But sooner or later, better sooner than later, you definitely have to jump, throw yourself into the cold water. And this is scary. I don't want to play down. This is definitely scary, and you really, get yourself over that edge and say, okay, now I jump and I don't hold back. To ease this process, what I like to do a lot, also on the way, you have to jump into the water over and over again. It's not like one time and then everything is fine, but you have to do this jump over and over again, is to have a vision, and to also make this vision. Vision is always a future concept, of course, but a pretty powerful way to get this future concept in to the present is, and I use it a lot, is a visualization. So really, I have a strong fantasy, maybe because there's a powerful impression on me. Be open for that, and also don't hold back. It feels a bit strange first, like try to be open for the two visualization exercises that we will do now together. You can actually just close your eyes, relax, and just listen to my voice. I will read the text for you. Yeah, so please close your eyes, relax, and take a deep breath, and really define your goal that you want to envision. It could be like a goal for your business, it could be like a goal for your idea, or also a personal goal, an academic goal. But really have this goal in front of your eyes. And now please envision yourself how you reach that goal. Really create a vivid picture with colors, with sounds. And then I want you to see, okay, what sounds are there? How does it sound to reach that goal? Are there people applauding me? Is it like, yeah, is there laughter? Is there any music? What do you smell? Yeah, is it like a big party because I'm celebrating my goal, because I finally reached it, I finally founded a business, I finally got that academic degree? So what do you smell, and how do you perceive the colors? Are they very bright? Are there any lights? And yeah, what do you see? And really try to take this into you. And also, if you want, you can enhance the intensity of the colors to increase the intensity of the colors and to make it more vivid for you, and try to create a picture that is as closely to real life as you're watching a good movie. And do you feel any sensation on your skin? Is there a soft breeze, wind, maybe air conditioning somewhere in the background? How does it feel for you? And when you have put together this picture, really try to fix it somewhere in your mind. And when you have done this, you can go back to it over and over again in times when you feel that you don't have to drive the motivation. It actually doesn't take much. Just close your eyes for a short moment and get back in that moment that you just envisioned. And for myself, it helps me a great part to always get myself up, because then I know what I'm doing it for. And it's not like a distant moment where I never will know that I reach it, but it's a moment that is right here with me in the present, and that I'm 100% sure that I will reach it because I saw it. I was there, more or less. So this is one especially valuable exercise for me, and I really encourage you, every time you feel down, just use it. Another thing that helps to get this faith in yourself to take the lead and jump over the edge is the following exercise. Again, I invite you to just close your eyes, relax, and really be open to that. You're standing inside a big arena. The ranks are filled with yourself, thousands and thousands of you. They cheer you on for accomplishing your goal, for never giving up. Other youths are surrounding you. They're patting on your back. They're shaking your hand and congratulating you. And while this picture might seem strange at first, it really helps you to build up a great inner strength, because you don't need any others' acceptance or any other person's recognition that you feel valuable and that you feel, okay, I will proceed with that goal because I believe in it. Because with this exercise, I can just speak for myself, it really helped me to give me that acceptance and the support, by visualizing myself congratulating me, shaking my hand, patting on my back, so really having this thousand doubles around me. If you really be open to that exercise and practice it over and over again, it can give you a great inner strength, because you are actually your own motivator and your own cheerleader. Well, of course, it is great when you have a vision, but to turn your vision really into a business and into success, it is important also that your vision turns into a various, and in fact, it's not just you, but also other people. And how do you get other people to the point that they don't see it like as your vision, but also are able to make it their own and believe in it like they came up with the idea, with the vision. And there are two very variable ways, or very effective strategies to do so. And it boils down to the point that you have really to give the other person the feeling that he or she matters for you and also for the idea. Because if you know this Maslow's pyramid of needs, we can adjust it. And on the very baseline of this pyramid of needs, so the things that every human being needs is the feeling of being recognized as a human being. You can also think or take a look at your own experience and your own feelings. But if you really can give another person that feeling that you recognize her or him, and that he or she is really a full human being and not just like a non-player character that walks through your field of view, like in video game, this will make people very open to, first of all, listen to you and then also believe in what you say. And there are two strategies to get to the point to give a person that feeling. The one is compassion, to really show compassion for that person. You can do this by also a short mental exercise. Yeah, think about how were the few hours for the person in that person's life before you met her, before that person came into your horizon of recognition. Yeah, and how will the next few hours be for that person? Really try to picture a story, because it can happen quickly in normal life that like I just said, that you tend to see other people just like non-player characters that are there in this video game of your life, and really don't recognize them as full persons. And this simple yet effective exercise helps you to don't see that person in this one-dimensional way, but really in this multi-dimensional spectrum that he or she is. And another way to do this, to reach that compassion and that kindness towards the other person, is a Buddhistic practice called metta meditation. I'm going to send you a video link with some short guided metta meditations that also really helps you to get in that state of kindness and in that state of full acceptance and recognition of the other person. And yeah, you can use these techniques on the one hand for your personal life to really give others people the feeling that they matter, but also for your business. And as I just mentioned, this is incredibly valuable when you really want that other people believe in their vision, believe in your vision, and actually believe in it so much that it is not your vision anymore, but also theirs. And that is actually the point where you want to get, because yeah, you have just a very narrow approach, or very narrow approach of thinking to a specific problem or specific idea or vision. And that's completely normal. You're, after all, just human and don't have all the knowledge of the universe. Therefore, your idea, your business can actually just prosper when it is not just your vision, but the vision of many, and many people work for it to make it the best version possible. Therefore, I also really encourage you to be open and really get to the point that it's not your vision alone anymore, but as I mentioned, the vision of many, because in the end, this is what will get you the success and the outcome that you want to reach with your idea, with your business. Well, as I mentioned, a wild ride, but now we come like slowly to the end of our small group therapy. If you have any questions regarding the tools, I will send a sheet to Daniel with the tools that we just used, so you can come back at them later, also with some books that I really liked and that helped me greatly to develop that kindness mindset, and you can give them a read if you want. Also, if you have anything left or want to chat with me about any topics that we just talked about, you can also send me an email to moritz.wesley@anchor.coach. I will be happy to hear about your feedback. And yeah, I want to end this short lecture with a quote of the famous German children's book author Erich Kästner. He said, "You think that fantasy isn't real. From fantasy and from fantasy alone, future worlds do arise. In the things that we create, we are free." And this is actually what really sums entrepreneurship up for me. It is to create, and in this process of creation, to create also our own freedom. And therefore, I encourage you to always have that fantasy, to have that approach of the dreamer, and never be afraid to turn your dreams into reality. Thank you very much.
Moritz, thank you so much for a fantastic lecture. It's been a very interesting one for me to listen to personally, and I hope the guys who are here got a lot out of it. I was drawn by a quote that you made early on, and what you talked about with the value pyramid that we did as well, of you know, you can get advice from everywhere and you can get all these different opinions, but without knowing yourself, it's all going to be sort of meaningless. So you have to understand yourself as much as you want to take on advice. And so I think we're in very good hands when a lecture about, you know, personal mindset and personal development essentially encourages us to look inwards first, and then, you know, you can use whatever resources are outwards. So thank you very much for speaking today. And I'm looking forward to seeing you work with the students and with myself in the future. Guys, do we have any quick questions or comments that anyone wants to make before we close the lecture?
Yeah.
I
think you've wowed them all, Moritz.
Yeah, no questions, but yeah, it's very good. Thank you very much, Moritz.
Thank you. That's really nice to hear. I'm going to send the sheet with all the tools and the book recommendation to you, Daniel, and then you can send it to the students.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and for everyone in Melbourne, enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll all talk soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.